In a conflict that has captured the world's attention, Israel and Hamas are under immense international pressure to halt the ongoing violence. But what does it actually take to achieve a ceasefire in one of the world's most volatile regions? Today, we're diving deep into the latest developments, the key players behind the scenes, and the stakes for everyone involved.
To understand today's peace efforts, we need a quick look back. This is a conflict rooted in decades of tension, misunderstandings, and intense fighting. Over the past weeks, we've seen a renewed surge in violence. But this round of negotiations is different. The stakes are higher, and the pressure, well, it's mounting from all sides. Makes you wonder, will history just keep repeating itself?
At the negotiation table, it's not just Israel and Hamas. Nations around the world are involved, from Egypt to the United States, each trying to push their agenda, bring peace, or protect their own interests. You can almost picture it. The back and forth, the late-night calls, makes you wonder if any one player can really break through this gridlock.
International leaders and everyday people alike are demanding a ceasefire. We're talking worldwide protests, social media campaigns, and global headlines. Think about it. When was the last time you saw so many nations pushing for one thing this hard? But does all this international pressure actually make a difference, or is it just noise?
Bringing two sworn enemies to the table isn't as easy as snapping your fingers. Each side has demands, each side has boundaries. And then there's the constant risk of spoilers, groups who'd prefer this conflict continue. Honestly, it's a miracle any negotiation ever gets off the ground. Could this time be different?
The U.S. has stepped in, with officials meeting regional leaders and pledging support. President Biden's team claims they're committed to a solution. But here's the million-dollar question. Can the U.S. really play peacemaker, or is this another round of empty promises? Egypt has often played mediator, given its location and ties to both sides. This time, Cairo's role seems more critical than ever. Egyptian officials have facilitated indirect talks and are hopeful about progress. But can Egypt alone handle the heat of this high-stakes negotiation?
Meanwhile, civilians are caught in the crossfire, desperate for peace. Public sentiment is shifting. People want an end to the violence, an end to the fear. But here's a thought. Do the people's voices actually matter to the decision makers here, or are they just background noise?
Even if a ceasefire is reached, history tells us it might not last. There are too many underlying issues. It's as if every ceasefire is just a ticking clock, counting down to the next flare-up. But who knows? Could this time be different? A ceasefire here wouldn't just affect the region. It could impact economies, international alliances, and the global refugee crisis. This could be the turning point everyone's been waiting for. Or it could be just another temporary fix. What do you think? Will this ceasefire hold? So, we're at a crossroads. We've seen ceasefires before, but this time feels different. The world is watching closely, and leaders are racing against the clock. But here's the twist. Could this be the first step toward a truly lasting peace? Thank you for joining us today. As we watch these developments unfold, it's clear that global cooperation and pressure are making waves. If you're curious about how international politics and economies can influence global issues, check out our video on why India's space missions are so cheap. There's a fascinating story there that's just waiting to be uncovered. Pause twos. Now let's take a moment to consider the potential long-term impacts of this ceasefire on regional stability and international relations. Geopolitical analysts suggest that a sustained ceasefire could shift the balance of power in the region. For instance, Dr. Emily Carter from the Global Policy Institute believes that a stable ceasefire would likely reduce the influence of militant groups, paving the way for more diplomatic engagements. This could foster a more cooperative environment for peace talks and economic collaboration. On the other hand, Professor Ahmed Khalid from the Middle East Research Center warns that the ceasefire might only be a temporary solution if underlying issues are not addressed. He highlights the importance of tackling socioeconomic disparities and political grievances to ensure lasting peace. Internationally, a successful ceasefire could also alter alliances and reshape diplomatic strategies. Countries that have been heavily involved in the conflict, either through direct intervention or support, may need to reassess their foreign policies. This could lead to new economic partnerships and security agreements, potentially stabilizing the region further. Ultimately, the long-term impacts of the ceasefire will depend on the commitment of all parties involved to pursue genuine reconciliation and sustainable development. It's a complex and evolving situation that will require ongoing attention and effort from the global community. Pause twos. Thank you for joining us in exploring these crucial issues. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click on the notification bell to stay updated on our latest content. Until next time, stay informed and stay engaged. Pause twos. While political negotiations and ceasefires are crucial, the humanitarian efforts on the ground are equally important. In the wake of the conflict, international organizations and NGOs have stepped up to provide much-needed aid to the affected regions. Organizations like the United Nations, Red Cross, and Doctors Without Borders are working tirelessly to deliver food, medical supplies, and shelter to displaced families. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres has emphasized the importance of these efforts, stating, "Humanitarian aid is not just a temporary relief, it is a lifeline for millions of people who are struggling to survive." In addition to these large organizations, smaller NGOs and grassroots movements are also playing a vital role. Local volunteers are risking their lives to distribute essentials and provide psychological support to those traumatized by the conflict. Their bravery and dedication are a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. One heartwarming example comes from the Global Relief Network, which has set up community kitchens to ensure no one goes hungry. Sarah Thompson, a volunteer with the organization, shared, "It's incredible to see people from all walks of life coming together to support each other. It gives us hope that even in the darkest times, humanity can shine through." These humanitarian efforts are not just about immediate relief. They are laying the groundwork for long-term recovery and rebuilding. By addressing the basic needs of the affected populations, these organizations are helping to create a foundation for sustainable peace and development. However, the scale of the crisis means that more support is always needed. International donors and governments must continue to provide funding and resources to ensure these life-saving operations can continue. Pause twos. As we reflect on the broader implications of the ceasefire, let's not forget the human faces behind the headlines. The work of these organizations and individuals reminds us that compassion and solidarity are key to overcoming any crisis. Thank you for joining us in this exploration. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click on the notification bell to stay updated on our latest content. Until next time, stay informed and stay engaged. Pause twos. The role of media in shaping public opinion cannot be understated, especially in times of conflict and peace efforts. As the ceasefire unfolds, media coverage across the globe varies significantly, influencing how different populations perceive the situation. In Western media, the focus often lies on the geopolitical implications and the roles of key players like the United States and the United Nations. News outlets emphasize the strategic interests and diplomatic maneuvers, presenting a picture of complex international relations. This portrayal tends to shape public opinion towards viewing the ceasefire as a significant political milestone, albeit with cautious optimism. Conversely, media in the Middle East and regions directly affected by the conflict provide a more human-centric narrative. Reports often highlight the immediate impacts on local communities, showcasing stories of loss, resilience, and hope. This approach fosters a deeper emotional connection, urging viewers to empathize with the affected populations and support humanitarian efforts. Social media platforms add another layer to the coverage, offering real-time updates and personal stories from those on the ground. Hashtags, viral videos, and grassroots campaigns amplify voices that might otherwise be unheard, creating a more nuanced and democratized view of the conflict. However, this also comes with the risk of misinformation and propaganda, which can polarize public opinion further. The portrayal of the ceasefire in different parts of the world not only influences how people perceive the conflict, but also affects international pressure and diplomatic efforts. Public sentiment, shaped by media narratives, can drive governments to take more decisive actions or, conversely, adopt a more cautious approach. Understanding these varied media perspectives is crucial for a comprehensive view of the ceasefire's impact. It reminds us that while facts are universal, the interpretation of those facts can differ widely based on cultural, political, and social contexts. Pause 2s. As we continue to monitor the situation, it's essential to consume information critically and empathetically. The stories we hear and the narratives we believe can shape the future of peace efforts and humanitarian aid. Thank you for joining us in this exploration. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click on the notification bell to stay updated on our latest content. Until next time, stay informed and stay engaged. The ceasefire not only holds significant political and humanitarian implications, but also carries substantial economic weight. The prolonged conflict has severely disrupted trade routes, investment flows, and overall economic stability in the region. During the conflict, key infrastructure such as ports, roads, and factories suffered extensive damage, leading to a sharp decline in industrial output and trade activities. Businesses, both local and international, faced enormous challenges, with many opting to halt operations or exit the region entirely. The uncertainty and risk associated with the conflict created a hostile environment for investors, further exacerbating economic woes. With the ceasefire now in place, there is cautious optimism about the potential for economic recovery. Trade routes are gradually reopening, allowing for the movement of goods and services that are crucial for economic revitalization. Local businesses can begin to rebuild and resume operations, providing much-needed employment and economic activity. International investors are also watching closely. A stable ceasefire could signal a safer environment for investment, potentially leading to an influx of foreign capital. This investment is critical for infrastructure rebuilding, technological advancements, and overall economic development. However, investors remain wary, mindful of the fragile nature of the ceasefire and the possibility of renewed conflict. Moreover, the economic implications extend beyond the immediate region. Neighboring countries, which rely on trade with the conflict-affected area, are also poised to benefit from the ceasefire. Improved regional stability can enhance economic cooperation and integration, fostering a more robust and interconnected regional economy. On a global scale, the ceasefire could lead to more stable energy markets. The region is a significant player in the global energy supply chain, and prolonged conflict has often resulted in volatile energy prices. A lasting ceasefire could contribute to more predictable and stable energy markets, benefiting economies worldwide. However, the path to economic recovery is fraught with challenges. The rebuilding process requires substantial financial resources, effective governance, and sustained international support. The economic policies adopted in the post-ceasefire period will play a crucial role in determining the trajectory of recovery and growth. In conclusion, while the ceasefire brings hope for economic rejuvenation, the journey ahead is complex and requires concerted efforts from all stakeholders. The interplay between peace and economic stability is intricate, and achieving lasting prosperity will depend on maintaining the ceasefire and fostering an environment conducive to growth and development. Thank you for joining us in this exploration of the economic implications of the ceasefire. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click on the notification bell to stay updated on our latest content. Until next time, stay informed and stay engaged. In this segment, we delve into the behind-the-scenes efforts that led to the ceasefire, featuring exclusive interviews with key political figures and diplomats. These individuals played crucial roles in navigating the complex and often tense negotiations. Cut to an audio clip of a diplomat speaking. The negotiations were incredibly challenging. Trust was in short supply, and every step forward felt like an uphill battle. Cut to another audio clip of a political figure. We had to balance so many interests: national security, humanitarian concerns, and international pressures. It was a delicate dance. Negotiators often worked around the clock, facing immense pressure to reach an agreement. The stakes were incredibly high, with millions of lives hanging in the balance. Diplomatic channels were buzzing with activity as mediators sought common ground. Cut to an audio clip of a mediator. One of the toughest moments was when talks nearly broke down. We had to pull out all the stops to keep both sides at the table. The interviews revealed the emotional and psychological toll on those involved. Many spoke of sleepless nights and the weight of responsibility they felt. Cut to an audio clip of a diplomat. There were moments of despair, but also moments of hope. The human spirit's resilience was truly inspiring. These behind-the-scenes insights provide a deeper understanding of the complexities and human elements involved in negotiating peace. The road to the ceasefire was paved with countless hurdles, but also with moments of profound cooperation and understanding. Thank you for watching this special segment. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click on the notification bell to stay updated on our latest content. Until next time, stay informed and stay engaged.